DFS action. So if you guys are new to our platform, come join us at LineStar. We do have a free 7-day trial. If you've never tried us out before, you can download it, iOS, Android, go to the website. One subscription does give you access to all of the formats to view our data, platform, projections, all of that. And one subscription also works for all the sports. It's $39.99 per month, $240 for the year. Best deal in DFS. Come try us out. Now, let's get into DFS a little bit here. So we're going to break it down position by position a little bit. Let's start, however, with just a little game overview. 43.5 total. Vikings slight minus 1.5 favorites. It is in Chicago. I think this is going to be a very interesting game, and there's a lot of different storylines here to watch. One, JJ McCarthy is making his first start. We have Caleb Williams, who is into a second year now, but new coach who, seems to be an offensive genius, as the Lions were total duds versus a very good defense this year in the Packers, but they really didn't do very much. So now Ben Johnson is with the Bears. He has plenty of weapons, and I do think it's going to be a very interesting offense and one that we can watch. Greg, does Luther Burden have any sort of role yet? Was hoping he could be like Williams from the Lions. It's tough to say what his full role is going to be, but it did look like he was playing behind Zacchaeus through preseason, while Burden, I think, has giant upside. I don't think he's quite there yet. If you go back into, rookie camp, he missed time. He missed time in the start of training camp, didn't play all that much in the preseason. I just think it's going to take a little bit of time for Luther Burden to really step in and own this Bears wide receiver 3 role. And so that's my only thing, Greg, with Luther Burden. Personally, I'm really not going to have much of him tonight in either props or DFS. I might play unders on props, but that's where it goes with me and Luther Burden so far. Then on the Minnesota side, obviously, we got McCarthy. We have a new addition in Jordan Mason. And then in the wide receiver room, obviously, there's no Jordan Addison. Jefferson, clear-cut wide receiver 1. Thielen is there, but not expected to play a ton of snaps. Then Jalen Naylor is just getting back from injury. Not totally sure kind of the role that he is going to have, as he missed a ton of time and has been really inconsistent. I don't mind him in some DFS lineups, I gotta say that. But the wide receiver room is clearly Justin Jefferson. I was thinking Mason there. And then we got TJ Hawkinson, who's a clear target. Now, let's get over to position by position. We already broke down Caleb and JJ McCarthy, but both warrant plays. One of the things that I think is very interesting about Caleb is last year, he had like 500 rushing yards. Now, it's not very often that you see a quarterback have that many yards and no rushing touchdowns. I think there is a little bit higher rushing upside with Caleb than most people think. Minnesota last year did give it up a little bit to quarterbacks, allowing 263.9 passing yards per game over the last 9. And we're high on the pass attempts allowed. Both bodes well for Caleb tonight in this situation. And with his higher than most people think, rushing output, I absolutely like Caleb. With his rushing, I do think you can put him in a captain spot. However, it is pretty much rushing TD or bust for me as far as wanting to play him in a captain or an MVP spot. I do think that quarterbacks go overplayed a bit in those captain MVP spots. JJ McCarthy does also have a little bit of rushing upside, nowhere near what Caleb's or, some of the big time rushing quarterbacks do, but I don't mind some JJ also. But JJ to me is more of a flex or not play spot for me. Chicago, however, did rank 24th, allowing 251.9 passing yards per game over the last 9. We got a very good offense here, and O'Connell has been a little bit of a QB whisperer, so I think JJ McCarthy absolutely can make lines today. Now let's get over to the running back room here, and we got an interesting spot. So we have DeAndre Swift. He looks like he is the clear-cut number 1 coming into this week. Roschon Johnson is expected to be the RB2, but he is questionable. Missed most of the preseason due to a foot injury. Just got a limited practice in on Friday. So his tag is questionable. There is absolutely a chance he could be the goal line back. So there is that path. And because of that, he may go overlooked a little bit, but don't mind some Roschon. I think there is some possible touchdown upside. And at 3K, it is a little interesting, but he is going to be touchdown or bust to make your lineups. Swift is the clear RB1 in this spot. And then on Minnesota, we got Aaron Jones and Jordan Mason. It does look like it's going to be a 1A, 1B type situation with Jordan Mason taking some of the goal line work or some short yardage work. I think both guys have viability. Aaron Jones gives you a little more receiving upside, and Jordan Mason maybe a little more touchdown upside. Now, both guys are going to be used a lot. Both guys are in consideration there. Maserati, thanks for showing up. Appreciate it. Also, should talk about Monangai a little bit for a second. Kyle Monangai, he's a 7th round rookie. He got a lot of praise. No clue how much he gets used. But outside of Bill this week, we really didn't see many late round draft picks get much work offensively. So with that, I don't think there's a ton of leash for Monangai. The only way I really see him playing is if Roschon is out. But that's, we're going to have to wait and see about that. Now, getting over to wide receivers, Justin Jefferson, obviously clear-cut number 1. Now, the one thing I will say about Jefferson here is they faced him twice last year, and really over the last few years. In Chicago, he has struggled. At home, he has done very well. This game is in Chicago, so maybe that doesn't do the best for him, bode the best for him here. But all in all, he has to get targeted a ton in this, and they have to figure out ways to get their best receiver the ball when they're also thin at wide receiver this week. So for the volume, I think you can consider Jefferson, but I don't expect one of those ceiling games from Justin Jefferson tonight. However, with how talented he is, there is always that opportunity. He's the engine that makes this offense go. Then we have Adam Thielen, likely to play only a limited amount at 4,700. There is tons of paths to his success, though. He is a very good wide receiver, and these underneath type routes may be the way that Minnesota has to go to really get after the Chicago Bears D. Then you have Naylor, Felton, Price. All of them don't know too much what to expect. Naylor, however, is the one with upside that could play a ton. It's just that he just got back from injury, so not totally sure how much leash he will get, but I wouldn't be surprised if he is on the field a lot, giving him a little bit of upside. And right now it does appear that he's going fairly low owned, which is super, super interesting. On to the Chicago side, we got DJ Moore, Zacchaeus, and Ozune. Out of these three, I like Ozune the most. I was super heavy on him in best ball over the offseason. And I think DJ Moore is interesting. I think there is more reason to play DJ Moore in a captain spot than any of the Bears WRs, as I think they're going to use him all over the formation. We even saw him coming out of the backfield in training camp a little bit. And so with how thin they are at running back, I wouldn't be surprised if he gets some snaps out of the backfield and more used as like a Deebo Samuel or Jameis Williams than, your normal X. I think Rome is going to take more of that X and going to get a ton of targets, but that ceiling, that chance for 150 and 2 is way less with Ozune than it is with DJ Moore. Both guys I like. I'm going to be playing both. Rome is my priority out of the Bears receivers, but do not sleep on Zacchaeus at 2K. I think he is going to get work. We saw it in the preseason. I think he's going to be a very, very interesting low-owned kind of pivot leverage spot for your lineups tonight, these single game lineups. Over on the tight end spot, we got TJ Hawkinson, Colson Loveland, the two clear-cut wide receiver ones. Well, I guess I shouldn't say clear-cut wide receiver one for Colston, because Cole Kmet is there. In preseason, it looks like they kind of split snaps with tight end. Colston has the upside, though. Exciting, new, high draft pick rookie. Don't mind playing a little bit of Cole Kmet, as he will be low owned and give you a leverage play. But outside of that kind of leverage, I would much prefer Loveland. And then TJ Hawkinson, clear best tight end on this slate due to the projected volume going his way. And tight ends have done pretty well versus Chicago over the end, over last year. And then we get into defense and kicker. Both defense clearly in play, as always. Bears way cheaper than the Vikings. I think that is interesting. McCarthy's making his first start. Definitely some path to success with the Bears, and a guy making his first NFL start. Don't hate it. However, I do expect the Vikings to run a decent amount, which limits the chances for, sacks, interceptions, pick sixes, all that kind of stuff, therefore limiting ceiling. But both defenses clearly in play. Then we get over to the kicker situation, and what we saw with this new kicking ball, we're seeing more long range field goals going in. I think scoring for kickers across the board is going to be up this season, so we need to consider them a little bit more than we have previously. All right, guys, that is going to do it for us today. Quick one, just hitting on our props and our DFS. Just to round it out again with the props, Zacchaeus over 17.5, TJ Hawkinson over 42.5 receiving yards, Rome Ozune over 47.5. And then on to the DFS side, some of my favorite plays today are Caleb, Rome Ozune, Jordan Mason, Zacchaeus, and TJ Hawk. That will do it for us today, guys. Hope you guys have a good one. Best of luck. We'll be back in about an hour with the MLB props and the MLB DFS show. You all have a good one. Thank you for tuning in. see you soon. Please come join us at LineStar, at Props Optimizer. Download them both. Give us a 5-star review as it helps us a ton. Appreciate you guys. Thanks for joining. Talk to you all later.